The Bible never answers the question, how old is the planet? How old is the universe? So from the Bible, I do not know how old the universe is. That's why I turn to science. And science at this point shows that the universe is about 15 billion years old, 13.7 billion years old. And that's why I accept the universe as being about 13.7 billion years old. The Bible says, in the beginning, God, not in the beginning, hydrogen. Why is that important? That's important because in all of my observation, you never get order and design by chance as a result of an accident. So, if science points to evolution as being the most reasonable, the best supported theory of how we came about, I have no problem with that. What I do have a problem with is the philosophy of evolution as an origin, which states behind this amazing order and design, there's no intelligent mind, there's just chance and fate. I'm sorry. Every example of order and design, separate from nature, because we're obviously debating the issue of nature, but every example of order and design that I see demands a designer. A shirt demands a tailor. If I prepare a delicious meal, set it before you and say, there's no cook, it's just happened. That's absurd. If you and I are walking through the Black Hills of South Dakota, we come around a corner and all of a sudden, wow, we look up and there are the heads of 4 presidents on that Mount Rushmore. And if I say to you, wow, isn't it amazing the way the glass just sort of trickled over the rock? Wow, there's George Washington. There's Thomas Jefferson. And there's old Rough Rider Teddy Roosevelt. Isn't it amazing the way that the water just carved out those heads on Mount Rushmore? That's unreasonable. Why? Because the order and the design of those 4 presidents' heads on Mount Rushmore demands a sculpture, demands someone who has forethought, intention, and understands how to bring order out of chaos. So if that's true of everything that I observe in life, then when it comes to the issue that we're debating, which is the universe, nature, the human eye, the central nervous system, it is far more reasonable, it is far more plausible for me to believe that behind the order and the design of the universe is an intelligent mind than it is for me to believe that it's all just chance and fate. And that is one of the main reasons, to tell you the truth, that I overcome my doubts when I doubt God's existence. Because order and design, repeatedly, 100 times out of 100, points to an intelligent mind. Now, I love speaking at Texas State. I also love speaking at the University of Texas, up in Austin. And there's a wonderful philosophy professor there named Rob Kuntz. He's a philosophy professor at UT Austin. And so I invite Rob to come out and communicate his faith to the students. And Dr. Rob Kuntz, the philosophy department at UT, stands up and says, one of the reasons that I'm most grateful for my faith in Jesus Christ is I do not have to struggle through epistemological nihilism the way my fellow philosophy professors do here. Epistemological nihilism is basically an understanding that if there is no God, you can't know anything ultimately with certainty. Why? Because what is your mind? Your mind is an accidental collection of atoms. What is your mind? Well, as Charles Darwin wrote to a man named Mr. Graham in a letter, your mind is simply a highly developed monkey's mind. Would you trust the thoughts of a monkey? Darwin asked. See, that's what I say is intellectually consistent. If I believe that my mind has no intelligent mind behind it, but is simply the result of chance and fate, then why do I trust my mind to tell me that it's just the result of chance and fate? I was speaking at Columbia University in New York City, and a bunch of freshmen came out of humanities class, and they said, Cliff, how do you know that your mind was not put together by a bunch of very intelligent scientists in a vat this morning? I thought that they were playing games with me. They weren't. Their Columbia University professor was encouraging them to think through the logical implications of there not being a God. If there is no God, your mind is simply a chemical accident. Why do you trust the chemical accident? The reason I trust my mind is because I'm convinced it's not an accident. It's a gift from a rational creator.